Good afternoon. Today is Wednesday. It is 3:34 p.m. Eastern Time. It has been a while since I recorded an episode of my podcast, Rob's Cast. Today, I will be recording my 15th episode. I just had some life events going on, had some situations I had to deal with, kind of got a little bit off track with the podcast. We're getting back to making great content and having true, authentic, honest conversations. It feels great to be back in my chair in my room, just speaking my mind, talking about my life experiences, and just connecting with my fans. Some of you are aware that recently I took a trip to Puerto Vallarta, Jalisco, Mexico, and Nuevo Nayarit, Mexico, and also went ATV and zip lining up in the mountains of Jalisco. Had a great time in Mexico. Spent 5 days in the country. Truly loved the Mexican people. Brought home some tequila with me. We're going to enjoy some tequila on the podcast today. Real men, they drink tequila, especially Mexican tequila. It's the best. If you've never had Mexican tequila, especially from Jalisco, you gotta try it. You won't be disappointed. It's absolutely amazing. High quality alcohol. It tastes great. It's incredible. I had a great time in Puerto Vallarta. I did have one bad moment on the trip. 6 hours before I was gonna check into my original hotel in Puerto Vallarta, I originally booked at the Marriott Puerto Vallarta, but 6 hours before, the hotel decided to cancel my room for the first night, so I had to scramble at the airport while on the flight to book a new hotel, and everything worked out perfectly. I ended up staying at the Grand Velas Riviera Nayarit in Nuevo Nayarit, Mexico, about 10 to 15 minutes from Puerto Vallarta, very close to the airport. It was a 5-star hotel, triple diamond resort, 4.8 stars on Google, all-inclusive, great customer service. The resort was pristine, well-maintained, friendly staff, friendly customer service. It only took them 45 minutes to have my room ready. I booked it at 11 a.m. Pacific time, and it was ready by noon. By noon, I was in my room enjoying the beautiful master oceanfront suite. That is customer service. If you ever go to Nuevo Nayarit or Puerto Vallarta, I would highly recommend you staying at the Grand Velas Riviera Nayarit. The best hotel I have ever stayed in, hands down. And I just want to touch on something a little bit. Marriott is a great hotel brand. So I'm not being negative about Marriott as a whole. I've stayed at the Marriott Newport Coast Villas in Newport Coast, California, which is part of Newport Beach. Great experience. Stayed at the JW Marriott in Nashville. Great experience. I've stayed at a JW Marriott close to Grand Rapids in Howland, Michigan. Great experience. It's a great hotel brand. And I would stay at another Marriott. But the Marriott Puerto Vallarta, it is the worst hotel experience I have ever had in my life. When I spoke to the general manager on the phone, the guy literally didn't even sympathize with the wrong that they did to me, and it didn't even offer any assistance. It was just poor customer service, and I was very disappointed with the Marriott Puerto Vallarta. I did not stay there. Very happy I went to the Grand Velas Riviera Nayarit. I had to scramble to get in at the Grand Velas, but I was able to make it happen, and they were very sympathetic to what happened to me, and they made it work, and I'm just very thankful for the Grand Velas Riviera Nayarit absolutely incredible hotel. 10 out of 10. If I could give them a 20 out of 10, I'd give them a 20 out of 10. Just incredible. And the best thing about the Grand Velas, it was all inclusive. Free food, free drinks, 6 restaurants, no charge for room service. So you didn't have to spend money on food and drinks. So you could just have a great time at the hotel included in your nightly rate, which is just absolutely incredible. And I had a master oceanfront suite. I had a private terrace in my room, 1,000 square feet. I had a nice toilet, I had a nice shower, and I had a jacuzzi. So the bathroom was incredible. Had 2 king-size beds in my room, a pull-out couch, a flat-screen TV. They had free laundry service at the hotel, and they did my laundry a couple of times a day. Just absolutely incredible. And the views from the terrace, I could see the ocean from all sides. The front, the side, just absolutely incredible. The room layout, it was spacious, well designed, modern amenities, just absolutely amazing. For what you get at the hotel, to be honest with you, it is very expensive. The hotel nightly rate was $950 a night. I understand with some people who's trying to travel on a budget, who's not making a lot of money, that might be out of the range. But if you're looking for a special, intimate connection, the Grand Velas Riviera Nayarit is for you. You're going to have an amazing experience. You're going to be treated like a king or a queen. And you're going to be made to feel very special. And that is how you should feel at a hotel. And then another thing I want to add. After I went through the security at the Puerto Vallarta International Airport, the Mexican customs got all my paperwork worked out and made sure I was good to enter the country with my passport. The party starts right away. You hear loud music banging, serving shots of tequila. Puerto Vallarta, it's a very fun city. You're going to have a great time. It's going to be a trip of a lifetime. Enjoying loud music, having great Tecate beer, shots of tequila, or whatever you like to drink, or whatever you want to do. You're going to enjoy yourself down there. Mexican hospitality, it's a real thing. Especially on the Pacific side, in Sinaloa, Jalisco, Nayarit, that part along the Pacific and Western Mexico. They're very friendly. They welcome the tourists. They want to make sure they have a great time. And that's how you want to feel on vacation. You want to feel special. You want to feel like someone cares about you. And they truly do care about you. You know, I was a little buzzed up a little bit, and my wallet and passport fell out of my pocket. And instantly, they returned it back to me and let me know, hey, you lost your wallet and passport. So I hear the U.S. media, they like to tell you that Puerto Vallarta is dangerous. I went there for 5 days, and I can tell you I felt more safe in Puerto Vallarta than I do in most U.S. cities. I felt safer in Puerto Vallarta than I do in Detroit, Michigan, compared to Los Angeles. It is very safe down there. Yes, are there sometimes a few instances of organized crime breaking out? Sure, it happens everywhere. But the vast majority of the Mexican people, they are great, amazing people, and they will make sure that you're in a safe area, and they will guide you to safety. So if you have any concerns about going to Puerto Vallarta, put those concerns by the wayside. They're not granted. They're not wanted. It's a very safe city. You have cell phone service down there. You got stores down there like the Boss store, the Vince store, luxury shopping malls. It's very built up. It feels like the States. It feels like the Orange County of California, except you're in Mexico. So it's very developed. It's very safe. They have a bunch of military and police forces there just to make sure no chaos breaks out. It was a great experience. I walked around the city at night and I felt totally fine. I didn't feel unsafe. I wasn't nervous. It was a great experience. And also, while I was waiting the 45 to 50 minutes for them to get my hotel room ready, they gave me a free chair massage just to make sure I was entertained and could relax after going through the airport and being on the plane for 6.5 hours. And that improved my mood so much. It made me feel relaxed as a man, and I could just clear my mind. And the next day, I booked a 2-hour massage at the spa and 1 hour of hydroponics, which is water relaxation therapy. I did have to pay $220 for that, but I'm going to tell you, it was one of the best investments I've ever made in myself. I felt completely meditated and relaxed after the spa session and the hydroponics session. The hydroponics session, it felt so good. I didn't know what to think of it. Like, I've always been in swimming pools, but like when you have an instructor like guiding you what to do and to do different meditation and different medicine rituals, I wasn't a believer in it before. I just thought, whatever, just want to get the massage in. But I have a growth mindset, and I'll say after the experience, I'm a big believer and a big supporter in hydroponics therapy. It's going to help improve your health. It's going to lower cortisol levels, and you're just going to feel great. You're going to feel like $1 million. It was $220 for the water therapy and the massage, but it was an investment. It was worth it. The massage therapist was so friendly, very nice, knew what she was doing, didn't go super deep, but didn't go too soft, had the perfect sweet spot, and that's what you're looking for. At the Grand Velas, they hire the best of the best. You're not getting the amateurs there. You're going to be treated like a king or a queen, and you're going to get the best of the best at everything. And I'm a winner. I'm a champion. I want to be treated like that. I want to have the best of the best. And you should have that same mindset as well. Also, by the pool, they had a large infinity pool. It bordered the beach and the ocean. So you got to see the ocean while being right by the poolside bar, drinking your tequila and Tecate beer, and just taking in the breathtaking views. It's incredible. It was one of the best trips I've ever had in my life. Just looking at the beautiful Banderas Bay on the Pacific Ocean, it made me feel like I was in heaven, but I was on earth. It was incredible. The beer, it was top-notch quality. The tequila was top-notch. Didn't feel sick after. I know some people have mentioned that other Mexican resorts have been caught serving bad alcohol. I can tell you from experience at the Grand Velas, you're not going to have that experience here, so you don't have to worry about that. And for cigar lovers like me, they sell Cuban cigars here. So if you want to get some Cuban cigars so you can enjoy while in Mexico, you can do that. I did that. I didn't smoke them while I was in Mexico because I was really focused on enjoying my trip. But once I got back to Michigan, I've already enjoyed a couple of the Cubans, and they were absolutely incredible. Top-notch quality. It's always great to smoke a great Cuban with some tequila. That's a great combination right there. The hotel, they have 6 restaurants on site. I did not eat at all 6. I got food from the snack bar by the pool, Azul, which is where the breakfast buffet is, and then Lucia, which is the Italian restaurant. At the Italian restaurant, I've already done some food reviews on my YouTube channel. I had bolognese lasagna, I had chicken parmesan, I had calamari, and I had a meat lovers pizza. And then one night, I got a room service order of the pepperoni pizza. The meat lovers pizza, it was better. The pepperoni pizza, the dough on the crust was a little undercooked. So that, it wasn't my favorite. It wasn't terrible. I just wish they would have cooked the crust a little bit more. But that's kind of like my only critique. The pepperoni pizza could have come out better, but I'm not going to make a big deal about that. Everything else was incredible. It was amazing. So we're not going to get negative. We got a growth mindset. We have positivity. We're going to focus on the great things. And the Grand Velas, it was filled with a bunch of great things. And then another thing, with the company that I went ziplining with, it was sponsored by the hotel. Same thing with the ATV riding. So if you are interested in learning about the ziplining, the ATV riding, and the other activities, they do have a concierge service, and they can help you book that. And the ziplining, I had so much fun doing it. I did get some videos, but unfortunately, I did lose them and they didn't save, so I wouldn't be able to show them. I still do have a couple of pictures, but the videos, unfortunately, I did lose. I'm going to reach out to the company to see if I can get a copy of that. So if I can get some of the videos of me ziplining in the mountains of Jalisco, I would love to share that with everyone. Hopefully, I am able to get that. I'm praying I can. But the safety, the equipment, it was top-notch. It was a great, reputable company. Felt very safe. Had a great time. There were 10 levels of zip lining. One of them went up a couple hundred feet, and I had so much fun just flying through the air and then twisting my body to stop in time. It was a thriller of an experience. Just an experience of a lifetime. To be honest, I didn't know what to expect ziplining. I've gone ziplining once in the past, but it was a very basic zipline. This ziplining experience, it was up in the mountains. You had to deal with trees and rivers. I was on a harness, but it just felt amazing just flying through the air and then finding a way to stop at the last minute. It was incredible. And then ATV riding, we started near a city called Mislova, which is in the mountains of Jalisco. Went ATV riding for multiple hours. We were on that for most of the day. Took a trip through the back roads and some of the highways on the ATV to around Guadalajara and then took it back. It was incredible. just seeing the beautiful scenery in the mountains of Jalisco. It's just beautiful. It was in the 80s, sunshine, got some tan, got to see some interesting scenarios. It was incredible. And what I liked about it is I had a tour guide in the front and in the back while I was on my own ATV, and they were guiding me on where to go. And that made me feel so much better because I'm not familiar with the area, so I didn't want to get lost on my own. So I had tour guides that were there to guide me to make sure we got to the Guadalajara area safe and then back to the Puerto Vallarta area safe all within one day. And that's what it's about. When you go on vacation, you got to try new things. You got to be adventurous. You got to be curious. You got to be open-minded. I'll be totally honest with you. I had no plans to go ATV riding before I landed at the airport, even when I first got to the hotel. It's just I started talking with the concierge guy, and he's like, yeah, you should try ATV riding. That's something a lot of people do. And it was like $75 US, and I said, why not? And I'll tell you, I have no regrets doing it. It was absolutely incredible. It was amazing. Got to see beautiful scenery. And also on the way back, I stopped at a tequila local distillery, and I got this tequila right here. I want to show everyone the bottle. Authentic Mexican tequila. We're going to enjoy some sips so the fans can see how great this is. If you've never had Mexican tequila before, you got to try it. Incredible. 18% alcohol, mango flavored. Doesn't feel like 18%. It's very easy to drink. And I was at the tequila tasting for about like 90 minutes. The man, his name was Jose. I don't remember his last name. I don't even remember the name of the local business. But Jose, very friendly man. He gave me 10 free shots to try. And as a result, I bought 2 bottles of mango, bought chocolate flavored, and then I got 2 big jars of hard shots of tequila that you can use to make margarita. Those 2, they're not flavored. It's just the real deal tequila with no flavor. That's very good as well. It is a little strong, so don't drink too much of those because it's got like 35 to 40% alcohol. This one's only got 18% and it's flavored, so it's a lot easier to drink. Mango tequila, it's absolutely incredible. I've had Tito's in the U.S. before. I can tell you this stuff, the Mexican tequila, it's a lot better than Tito's. Tito's is good. This stuff is at a whole nother level. One thing I just want to add, if you ever have any question about Puerto Vallarta, traveling to Mexico, I've been to Mexico a couple of times. I know how to deal with situations. I can give you advice on how to be safe in the country, but I'm just going to say this. Don't believe the media propaganda machine. Mexico, for the most part, if you mind your own business, you're not causing trouble down there, if you have fun with reason and know how to behave yourself, you're not going to have any problems. Trouble, for the most part, only comes to those who starts trouble or causes issues with members of society. If you go down there with your family, your friends, your cousins, or whoever it is, if you mind your own business, you have a good time, but you don't cause any trouble, you don't do anything stupid, and you obey the laws down there, you're not going to have an issue. I've been to Mexico. I haven't had any issues. Some people I know, they get very nervous, they get very anxious, and I get it. Because the media tries to make it look like a place it's not. But it's not a bad country. The Mexican people, they're very hospitable. They're amazing, friendly people. And it's going to be an experience of a lifetime. I did spend a half a day in Puerto Vallarta, in the Old Town Malecon area. It's very historic. It's got beautiful sceneries, especially right by the Malecon along the ocean. That view of Banderas Bay, the mountains, seeing some of the clouds up in the mountains, it's just beautiful. It's amazing. It's breathtaking. And they have a bunch of local shops in Puerto Vallarta. While I was in Puerto Vallarta, I bought my mom a dress, and the local lady that made it, don't know her name, she was an incredible human being. The regular price was 480 pesos. But she did me a deal for my mom, and she sold it to me for 110 pesos. Whatever your name is, I don't remember what it is, but I'm very thankful. My mom is enjoying her new dress. She absolutely loves it. It looks like an authentic Mexican dress. It's absolutely beautiful. That's one thing I want to talk about. You can't just be about money in life. Yes, I love money. I'm working on building an empire. I've been stacking and racking my money and becoming a very successful and thriving man. But you also have to have kindness and a service-oriented mindset. You have to do good to others. You have to serve the community. You can't be a narcissist. You can't just be about yourself. You got to help other people out in need. If you see a brother, a cousin, or someone on the street just struggling, help them out. If you were in that situation, you would want someone to do that to you. Return the favor and do it to them. It will make you and your soul feel like $1 million. You're going to feel great as a person. I've done so many favors to people, and to be honest, sometimes some of these people didn't deserve them. They didn't return the favor to me when I needed a favor, but that's okay. I still feel great as a person, and do the right thing. Do the right thing even when no one is watching. Because one day, it's how the law of the universe works. You get what you sow. And one day, you're going to be blessed in so many ways that you don't even know, that it's going to come back to you for all of the blessings you did to others that weren't paid back. The biggest thing that I want to talk about, you have to have a growth mindset. Kick the fixed mindset to the side. Focus on becoming 1% better each and every day. Failure and mistakes, it is part of the process. When you have a setback, when you have a failure, if you learn from it and grow from it, you succeeded as a person, and you will thrive in life, and you will conquer your dreams. However, if you have a fixed mindset and say, I'm not successful because I'm in the middle class, I'm not successful because of this, I'm not successful because of that. I know people like that. Don't be that person. You're not successful because of your work ethic, your mindset. You don't have discipline. You don't have motivation. Have a growth mindset. Become 1% better each and every day. If you're not where you want to be, keep focused on the path. Keep taking the next step forward, the next step forward, the next step forward, the next step forward. Keep doing that 365 days a year for the rest of your life, and you will be in a great position. You will be a millionaire. You'll have financial freedom. You'll be able to take care of your family, your friends. You'll be able to start a philanthropic foundation. You'll be able to start a real estate tycoon empire. If that's what you want to do, that's my vision. And I'm on a mission to conquer that vision. Every day when I wake up, that is my why that motivates me to become successful, to take chances, to take risks. That is my why. If you don't have a why and money is just your only motivation, you're going to have a hard time being successful. It's great. Money is great. But if you don't have a why, what's going to happen when someone punches you in the face and you get knocked out and you face a setback? If money's just your motivation and you have no why, it's going to be harder for you to continue. That's where you got to find that inner fire and inner motivation and that set of discipline principles that keep you taking the next step forward, embracing the growth mindset, and conquering the life roadmap to achieve whatever you want to. I had a great time recording my 15th episode of my podcast today. It was a true, genuine, and honest conversation. I truly appreciate all of my fans that support my podcast. In the future, I am going to be recording more episodes more frequently. I do apologize about taking some time off. I didn't plan on taking this much time off from the podcast. We're going to be getting back to doing podcast episodes once a week. So we're going to be producing and making great content. Go Dodgers, go Pistons, Puerto Vallarta, Nuevo Vallarta, one of the best vacations, one of the best destinations I've been to. I highly recommend you consider making a trip to Puerto Vallarta. You won't be disappointed. God bless. I truly appreciate everyone's support. Next week, we will be releasing the 16th episode of Rob's Cast, my podcast. Stay tuned. Have a great afternoon. Be safe. I truly appreciate your support.